It's another lovely time for us to be together right here on Atlantic TV and its Viewpoint. And you do know on Viewpoint, all we tend to do is to try to see how we can really make your morning and your day look really enjoyable. Hence, we always do Viewpoint. But anyway, in case you don't know, my name is Michael Gobadia.
And I am Mercy Irabo. Welcome to Viewpoint on Atlantic TV. You know how we do it right here on Viewpoint. To start with the dailies, to go straight into the dialogue. The news comes around, and of course, trending. Trending today is really trending because we have loads of gist for you, and you do not want to miss that. You have to stay tuned on Atlantic Media and TV. Well, you know you can engage with us on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV. We need to go on this quick break, and once we return, the dailies will be next.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
My name is Desoka, the comedy catalyst, one of Nigerian comedy.
All right, guys, back again. Yes, boss. My name is Osh Baby.
Yemi Alade.
Yeah, what up, people? It's your boy Victor Edi.
Girl Niniola.
My name is my wife, and just celebrity type man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka go, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
I see you know you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV. Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere, I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom.
Atlantic TV. We wanna party.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Well, it's now time to go straight to the papers. And for review today, we have 7 papers. We have The Punch, The Nigerian Tribune, definitely The Vanguard, Daily Trust, The Nation, and indeed, The Guardian will be guiding us through. Well, you do know I always enjoy starting with The Punch, and let's see what The Punch has as a major one on its front page this lovely morning. And on The Punch this morning, the leading story is House shutdown plenary amid tension over budget. And right after that, over 45 bills are report stalled. Reps grumble over inadequate funding during 10th closed door section. But anyway, get more of what really transpired during that section on page 2. Let's see if we take some other major ones. A major one. Nigerian debt may hit 193 trillion with loans. And this is according to, the finance minister. Page 27 seems to have that story. Only 44% of social benefit reach poor Nigerians. And this is according to the World Bank. And page 27 also have that story. But what's on page 14 is PDP crisis deepening as Abuja court holds a convention. And also on page 14, Tinubu Governor Sultan Greece Editors Conference today. Well, anyway, yeah, the Editors Conference is taking place today. Well, let's see if we take some other major ones still on the front page of The Punch. And yeah, on The Punch also, we have these. NDLEA, US, UK unveil 233 billion global cocaine network, or rather unravel. And you can get more of that story on page 12. What you get on page 12 and is trending on almost all social media platforms and will definitely trend later on. Trending tension as Wike soldiers clash over ex-naval chief land. Okay, World Cup playoffs, Eagles boycott training over bonuses. Hey, oh my, well. Anyway, you can get more of that story on page 46. Here we go again. Okay, well, the picture of the day is the 65th independence or 65th independence of the Arewa think tank. And you can see many dignitaries seated right there, or rather standing right there. And well, we also grace the occasion. I'm talking about the governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Well, anyway, that's how much you can take from The Punch.
Let's check out for stories making it to the headlines of the Guardian newspaper. On the Guardian this morning, the lead story reads, Ambition, legal battle stall PDP convention, threaten 2027 prospects. More of that is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. A Senate rebukes NNPC, rejects explanation on unaccounted 210 trillion naira. More of that is on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. Nigeria's eyes 2.8 million barrels per day oil output as NUPRC begins licensing round. More of that story is on page 4 of the Guardian newspaper. Amechi Ezekwesili asks Nigerians to hold politicians accountable, urge electoral system overhaul. More of that is on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. Let's check out for more leading stories still on the front page of the Guardian newspaper. A federal government may suspend planned CGT over market concerns. You can get that story on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. Wike military officers field over disputed FCT property. Interesting story that will be trending today on Trending, but you can get more of that story on page 30 of the Guardian newspaper. A genocide. Nigerians urge Tinubu to go harder on terrorists and end bloodshed. More of that story is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. NAFDAC outlaws production, sale of sachet alcoholic beverages. You can get that on page 30 of the Guardian newspaper. Federal government moves to ban single-use plastics. You can read that story up on page 4 of the Guardian newspaper. Anxiety as investors lose 4.6 trillion naira in equity, single largest post-COVID daily loss. That business story is on page 18 of the Guardian newspaper. Let's take a look at the picture of the day. Yeah, the picture of the day is just a screamer of the lead story. Ambition, legal battle, stall PDP conventions threaten 2027 prospects. And it visually represents the ongoing internal struggles within PDP as different factions and political ambitions reportedly delay preparations for the party's convention, a development that could impact its strength and unity ahead of the 2027 general elections. Well, that's all we're taking this morning on the Guardian newspaper.
Well, this day will be the next paper for us to quickly look at right here. And on this day, the leading story reads, Cardoso, economy belongs to all, reform gains must be protected. And says credible polls or policies, transparent market, sound governance have restored investors' confidence in financial system. But anyway, take more of that story on page 6. Let's see if we take some other major one. At Arewa House, someone who boasts Nigeria, or boasts Nigeria will, or rather boasts Nigeria will rout poverty, insecurity, and other trials. And you can get more of his belief on our page 9 of our This Day newspaper. And a major one also to attract fresh investment in oil sector, NUPRC announcing 2025 licensing round. Komolafe says exercise to commence December 1st, 2025. New round to accelerate federal government additional 1 million barrels initiative. And Commission's chief declares funding as biggest challenge in upstream sector. But get more of that story on page 9. Let's see if we take some other leading stories too on the front page of This Day Today. Yeah, a major one that we also call the picture of the day is the closing gong ceremony commemorating the listing of Murphy Real Estate Investment Fund. And all of that played out yesterday. Well, we're having equities being lost, but indeed some others are being listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. But that's the much we can take from This Day newspaper.
Let's check out our stories making it to the Nigerian Tribune. The lead story on the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Reps begin probe of border security architecture funding. Only 84 out of identified 1,978 entry points are officially manned by security operatives. More of that story is on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. Let's take a look at some more leading stories still at the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. UBA commits $102 million direct investment in Charts Securities. That very story is on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune. 210 trillion naira probe. Senate rejects NNPCL's explanation. Insists it must refund money to governments. More of that is on page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune. High cost hits banks as inflation bites small depositors hard. You can get more of that on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune. Let's take a look at some more major ones still on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. Customs discovers 29.4 billion naira cocaine inside export buses at PTML terminal. Wow, that's a lot on page 26 of the Nigerian Tribune. A gunman abducts 6 defense ministry directors in Kogi State. More of that is on page 28 of the Nigerian Tribune. Music may help reduce dementia by up to 40%. And this is coming from a study on page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune. Let's take a look at some more leading stories. Tinubu must show determination to flush out Boko Haram sympathizers from military. Professor Akinyemi is saying this loud on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. Wike military officers clash over alleged illegal land development. That story is trending on page 3 and will also trend on Trending Today. Well, you can read more of that on page 3. Gridlock on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway keeps many stranded for hours. You can read that story up on page 26 of the Nigerian Tribune. Sanwo-Olu at Arawa House. We will defeat insecurity. Others advocate stronger unity. List gains of renewed hope agenda. That story is on page 3. And also the picture of the day. Yeah, that's Sanwo-Olu with other dignitaries at the 65th Independence Anniversary of the Arawa at Kaduna yesterday. Well, that's all we're taking this morning on the Nigerian Tribune.
Well, anyway, the Renew Hope agenda is to strengthen Nigeria, but our agenda is to make you always have a nice time on Atlantic TV. Next is the Daily Trust. The Daily Trust this morning, the leading story reads, "Knowing going back on convention." I'm not saying so, but PDP seems to be telling all Nigerians that irrespective of the court cases, well, they're not going back with the convention. Ibadan, here we come. But anyway, page 9 has more of that story in case you're really interested in reading it up. Let's see if we take some other major ones. Stock market loses 4.6 trillion, highest in decade. And everybody's wondering how, why? But anyway, 25 has more of that answers. Lawyers and the civil society organization knock Wiki over altercation with soldier is a major one on page 5. Why senators wanted to impeach Akpabio. And you can get more of your story on page 17. Let's see if we take some more stories. Still the Daily Trust we are, and there we are. Travelers spend hours on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. It's a sad reality on page 32. 2 killed as Castina community protest over bandit attack. And more of that protest is on page 6. 48 hours to World Cup playoffs. Super Eagles boycott training. Hey, well anyway, has a heavy one on the hearts of many men. But page 34 has more of that story. Then the picture of the day is more of the listing of Murphy Real Estate yesterday at the Nigerian Stock Exchange. And indeed, they are coming on board. That's the much you can take from the Daily Trust.
Yeah, let's see what the Nation has for us this morning. The lead story on the Nation this morning. Convention, another court orders throws PDP into disarray. Judgment tomorrow in Lamido's Abuja case. Ibadan court to hear another suit today. More of that story is on page 4 of the Nation. Let's take a look at some more major ones still on the front page of the Nation newspaper. Why State Police is Inevitable by Uba Sani. You can get more of that on page 5 of the Nation newspaper. Capital gains tax for review, says Edzun on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. NUPRC to begin 2025 licensing round December 1st. That's a major one on page 7. APC to Adeleke cuts down on partying, focus on governance. A major one on page 6 of the Nation newspaper. Customs intercepts 29.4 billion naira cocaine at Lagos port. A very interesting story on page 34 of the Nation newspaper. Jari-based defection takes APC to 76 senators. Major one on page 5 of the Nation newspaper. Let's take a look at some more major ones still on the front page of the Nation. 6 female defense ministry directors kidnapped. A very disturbing story on page 36 of the Nation newspaper. DSS arraigns man over coup call, and that's on page 34 of the Nation newspaper. What we have as a picture of the day, Sanwo-Olu at Arewa House lecture, Nigeria will defeat terrorism, and this is a major one on almost all of the dailies this morning, and you can read them on page 36 of the Nation newspaper. Well, that's all we're taking this morning on the Nation newspaper.
Well, what seems to be on the Vanguard, which is the last paper for review, is just what Messi read last. Still talking about insecurity, but this time a different one. Trump, diplomatic engagement yielding results. This credited to the federal government and riders to follow. Alleged 30 US-based lobby group working to misrepresent Nigerian situation. Federal government not doing enough to end Christian killing, says US congressman. Tinubu COS meet behind closed doors. Shaibu assures Nigerian increased security. Nigeria bleeding from its own division. Vatican envoy. Embrace dialogue, not anger over Trump's comment. Northern Khan urges Nigerians. Terrorism in Nigeria, multifaceted, says Afenifere. And protest rock Castina communities over bandit attack. All that little you can get on page 7, but the main block of the story is on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. Let's see if we take some other major ones. Wicked soldiers bicker over alleged land grabbing in Abuja is on page 9. Tinubu reforms winning not, says Baduru and Arewa think tank on 57. All set for editors conference in Abuja is also screaming on page 8. Edun pledges a review of capital gains tax to boost investors' confidence. And you can confidently get that story on page 19. Let's see if we take some other leading stories still on the front page of the Vanguard this morning. We have approved duty-free importation for aircraft and spare parts, according to Aviation and Aerospace Minister Kiyamo on page 9. No governor can complain of poor funding under Tinubu, and that we will say, yes, it's for true. And you can get that story on page 10, according to Sanwo-Olu. PDP crisis, Lamido secures another court order stopping convention. It's on page 8. Anambra poll, Solodo deputy receives certificate of return from INEC is also on page 11. Well, anyway, the picture of the day is that of the Yaradua's family as they visited President Bola Ahmed Tinubu just recently. And well, anyway, you could know, wow, it's something you just behold and love to see. I was talking about the late Musa Yaradua's family. Well, anyway, that's the much you can take from the Vanguard and indeed all the papers this lovely morning. I always implore you to go grab a copy of any of them and read it up and see how you can truly inform yourself about what seems to be happening in the country. A lot seems to be on the front pages of the Daily this morning. We talked about, or rather, we had stories as it concerns security, we had stories as it concerns politics, and we had a very disturbing one as it concerns sport. And that is, well, anyway, the Super Eagles seem to have boycotted all training on the ground of bonuses. And you do know that match with Gabon is critical and will take place tomorrow. Our hopes and prayers is the NFF should just try and solve things. So me and Kes does not call ourselves tomorrow night and be crying and comforting each other. But anyway, it's more of a comfort. I'll tell you, don't worry. We'll see what will be done. Let's quickly go on a break now. And when we come back, dialogue will take center stage on Viewpoint on Atlantic TV.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different.
The future of the worried child is bold, bright, and limitless. Gone are those days where being from worry means that you are underestimated or being put in a box. Today, the worried child is breaking boundaries in education, innovation, and all things that they set their minds to. We are gathered right here live at the Brown Hill Coliseum in Warri, Delta State for the future of the worried child, a one-day seminar put together for secondary school students in Warri, Delta State, and its aim is to reshape and of course to remind these children that their dreams are valid and they can be anything that they want to be. We will be reshaping destinies and of course putting in the minds of these children that yes, greatness lies within them. The theme for this year is a very powerful one: beyond limits, unlocking the potential of the worried child. Now, this is not just another seminar. This is a movement, one that brings to the knowledge that every child has greatness inside of them. My name is NK and I'll be holding it down right here on the red carpet for Atlantic Media and TV, where we'll be having our special guests and of course we'll be having conversations with our speakers, distinguished guests, and of course our students who are here and ready to learn, to get inspired, and of course to go home with so much enlightenment. Join me on the red carpet as I interview great men and women who will be coming here today to experience this great history in the making.
The future of the worried child is in your mouth, and as long as they can't steal your voice, they cannot steal your future. God bless you all. God bless Ogiame Atuashe III. God bless the children of this great land. God bless Nigeria.
Child can do anything possible because we believe first God made them, and if God made them, God actually made them without limit. So we are trying to sell that dream back to them, no matter what they've been taught, no matter what they've been told, that the worried child is going beyond limit.
To unlock children's potential, it starts with you as a parent.
What we are here to do is to also put them in the direction of, as you are working, also get yourself checked.
Going beyond the limits, beyond unlocking your potential, knowing your place, owning your story, finding the obstacles, identifying them, leaning into the lessons that life throws at you. So generally speaking, it's all about honing yourself and looking around you to solve problems. When you are a problem solver, you will always have value.
I'm a product of worry, so today I am that future standing here, and for that reason I have no doubt the people that will come after us will do greater things.
I feel so amazed by everything that has been going on today. I am truly touched and I'm truly enlightened today.
I feel very nervous coming here, but meeting new people and seeing that, oh, like there are lots of opportunities. Thank you much for the opportunity that have given to us, the future of the worried child.
Future of the worried child is me, thanks to the Corona Care Foundation.
The Worry Child. I want to firstly celebrate God Almighty. Please, can we jam our hands together for the King of Kings?
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has summoned a meeting of the Council of State and the Police Council for Thursday, October 9th, 2025, to deliberate on the escalating insecurity across parts of the country and other pressing national issues. The strategic session to be held at the council chambers of the Presidential Villa in Abuja underscores Mr. President's renewed commitment to strengthening Nigerian security architecture and restoring public confidence amid rising security concerns. The meeting would review the nation's security situation, evaluate ongoing military operation, and also consider fresh measures. Came just after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu returned to Abuja yesterday night after a week-long working visit to Lagos, where he had series of engagement with investors, development partners, and stakeholders, hence the need for security. Thursday Council of State meeting will be second under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration and is expected to set the tone for a renewed inter-government coordination in addressing the country's multifaceted security challenges. All of this is coming as there are said to be positive gains in the reforms being taken by this administration, hence a need to secure the country and help increase both local and foreign confidence in the security climate of the country. And also a need for us to talk about it on today's edition of Dialogue. And that is, we're talking about the growing security and a call to addressing it. That's what we're having as a major one today on the show. We're talking about the growing insecurity in the country and the recent call to address it, knowing that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be having a Council of State meeting with major critical stakeholders all in the bid to addressing the problem. Well, that's what, like I said, we're having today on Dialogue. And truly to help us talk about this, we have no other person but Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Human Rights Issues, and also, you do know, is a part of the civil society organization right here in Delta State. And talking of no other person, he likes me calling him Mr., but I'll call him Comrade Kevin Jomodu. Good morning and welcome to the show, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Ray. Thank you for having me. Good morning, viewers.
Well, I want us to just dive deep into the issues, knowing how really critical this perceived meeting will be come next tomorrow, Thursday to be precise. We do know the Council of State is being made up of former governors, presidents, and most especially the governors will be there. The Attorney General of the Federation will also be there. And we do also know that it will be chaired by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But the Council of State is more like an advisory board.
Police force, according to Chino Achebe.
Yeah.
In the Nigerian context, we have been bedeviled with this insecurity for decades. And successive governments come up with their own template and the boast and all of that. Well, we keep going back to the drawing board and we keep asking ourselves the old questions, which is, which way Nigeria? Now, in all of this, I do not even see any I don't see anything coming out from the outcome of this, the meeting, because it is not alien to us that insecurity is staring before us in the face, and that as each day goes by, the bandits, the terrorists, the criminal gangs, they keep having a free day in the Nigerian soil. And for several times, I've always advocated about this, even in my media angle, in other media space, that if you don't take this battle to the criminals, they will take the battle to meet you. And when they bring it back to you, you'll be ambushed. And we all know that whatever happens in an ambush condition is 50-50. In all of this, we have to ask ourselves the question, where are security votes? Because the money for security is humongous. One would expect that in this 21st century, we'll be seeing drones flying around all our forests. We'll see 24 hours patrol security surveillance on our roads. we'll see short point, mini barracks to combat these people before reinforcement comes. All of these we've not seen. And we keep saying investors should come and invest in Nigeria. That is safe. My friend came from America the other day. He said they were giving the blacklist Nigeria as a no-go zone for travel advisory. So it pricks my heart as a country I belong to, where we have great minds and great potentials, being blacklisted that is a blacklist that you don't have to travel there. It's at your own risk if you go to Nigeria. And now we're calling on investors, come and invest in Nigeria. We have a robust system for you to come and invest. We have tax waivers and all of that. And nobody will invest where there's no security.
You saying this really would force me to ask. Now, before now, the growing insecurity can be largely seen in the northeast and northwest.
Yes.
We're talking about states like Borno, Zamfara. Yes, it beats in Adamawa and the rest. But now it seems to have creeped into two states that we rarely hear of before now. We're talking about Kebbi and Kwara State. Just yesterday, they killed one person in Kwara, kidnapped one also. And we're talking about bandits. Now, it's not like we're not having successes against these persons. Yes. Recently, Kachala, Maidawa, and 34 others, bandit kingpin, was eliminated by the military. Yes. So my question is, why are we not having a containment of this issue rather than we're having it spread? It's not spreading down to the south. Kwara State is more like the boundary between the north and the south. So my question is, why are we having a spread rather than a containment? Because by now we're talking about dealing with them, giving them a heavy blow, giving them a red eye. But rather, it's coming home. It's coming south. So what's the issue?
It's coming south, it's coming home, it's coming to even the southeast and all of that, because we are playing religion and political sentiment with matter of insecurity. You see, we must decide our fate as a nation and as a people. When it comes to matter of insecurity, you do not bring religious sentiment into it. You do not bring political affiliations into it. If a man has been declared to be a terrorist organization, you go after them and treat them the way terrorists have been treated. Globally, you see how terrorists have been treated. They're not giving a soft landing.
Yeah.
You go all out to them because if they come, they show no mercy to civilian populace. They show no mercy to government infrastructures. And that's their target. To children and women and men. You see, just imagine the NBA new call to bar members coming back the other day from Abuja, they were kidnapped. Kogi has become something else now. If you are passing there, you just have to hold your ransom or believe that, okay, if you scale through, to God be the glory. Just even in our dear state, Delta State, just over the weekend, somebody was kidnapped in Abadalume axis and along the Sapele road coming to Warri. So this whole thing, the kidnappers are having a free day in Nigerian soil. So it's because we've not taken the battle outside politics, outside religion, hence we're having this shortfall. If the government of the day will stand to the ovation and say, okay, well, now we're not going to look about ethnic sentiment, religious sentiment, political sentiment, let's go all out for criminals and bandits in the country. Then deploy modern global best practice to fight to combat these things. Because at the end of the day, now the reason they're calling for this meeting now, because it's coming closer to them. Abuja is becoming unsafe now. We saw the robbery that took the life of Arise TV representative, and a lot of others happening within the Abuja. So they are now seeing that, okay, even the federal capital territory is no longer safe. And when the capital territory is no longer safe, meaning the high and mighty there, they are not safe. Hence, they are calling on this crucial meeting to say, okay, what do we do? What have we not been doing right? So it's not enough to call a meeting. It's enough to tell ourselves the bitter truth. Are we ready to fight insecurity? Is the government battle ready? Our service chiefs, are they the right people? Are they the one manning the offices? Because we have operational generals. We have non-operational generals. We have favoritism generals that just say, okay, it's my townsman. Go there and just be the head there. And the man doesn't understand what it means to be combatant. He doesn't know what it means to be combat ready. So when he goes there, what does he do? He just gives directives and sits in the office. All generals should be deployed to warring areas. Stop being in defense headquarters. Riding, no. Go to the place that the warring place. Stay there. The IG go there. The Air Force, everybody go to those areas. So you cannot feel the pulse of the people. Look at what happened in Plateau just over some months ago.
Yeah.
When people are being killed, nobody said accountable. You know, the idea that somebody will be murdered in Nigerian soil and nobody will be held accountable, it's worrisome. It speaks volume.
Okay,
It breaks our heart as the people to say, how come these people having a free day in the Nigerian soil? You kidnap for ransom. Okay, we have a national security advisor.
Yeah.
We have a CBN governor. What's stopping us from putting a tracker in this ransom money? And when they are paid, you trace and track. No. People just you just commit crime and you have a free day, a holiday to go.
Well, anyway, I'll plead with you. I know how really annoying it seems to be and how passionate you're talking about it. Well, in case you're joining us, yes, we're looking at the recent surge in insecurity and the growing call for something to be done about it, especially knowing that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will definitely be holding the Council of State meeting come next tomorrow, to be precise, Thursday. And well, on top of that very list is the issue of insecurity and what needs to be done to curb it and for it to be given a heavy blow and not giving that of a kid gloves. All of that is what we're looking at today on the show, knowing that the growing insecurity seems to be really impacting negatively on ordinary Nigerians. But the question still remains, why is it spreading rather than being contained in a specific area, maybe the northeast or the northwest? Or where it really started from. But just like our guest said, Comrade Kevin Ojomodo, he feels it has a political coloration and also a religious part of it, and hence it seems to be so. But I want to also bring in the issue of business into the issue of insecurity in Nigeria. Because I could still remember the Chief of Defense Staff, Christopher Musa, came out in July to tell us that about 40% of the 500 million light arms circulating in West Africa will be found in Nigeria. And this is because of the merchants of debt, as we call them, businessmen. Do you see this business part? I'm not just talking about ransom taking alone. Yes, ransom taking, according to them, is more like the business. Informants giving them needed information of military formations and the settings is also part of the business. But we are now seeing an increased number of light arms being traded in Nigeria.
Okay.
So do you feel the business part of it is also the reason we are not really winning the war against it? Let's look at it.
I think those are just mere excuses. We have the law of provision of firearms. Who to carry firearms, and all of that. Now, how do these people get these arms into our country?
Okay.
It's same true our politicians also. Yeah. You saw a lot of reality that unfolded when they said during the pre-election era, they give ammunition to some of these persons and say, okay, in case it doesn't go my way, this is what we're going to do. Now, when the issue went south, a lot of them could not retrieve back those arms. You give it to these boys. And a man with the arm, the next thing that comes to his mind is crime. Because he wants to feed with the arms that he's holding, and he goes about doing what? Kidnapping for ransom. So I think those are just excuses. Okay, what have we done as a nation? We have a national security advisor, Nuno Ribadu. He's a police officer, well detailed, a retired police officer, well detailed. So sometimes I keep wondering what is going on. What's happening to our intelligence? Because if you say we saw when customs intercepted the container that was having a lot of 500 pound back at that time, all of that. So what happened to our intelligence? These ammunition, they pass through the road, they pass through our borders. So nobody intercepts, nobody knows that, okay, firearms moving from XYZ state to XYZ state. It shows that we as security formations is faulty. We must say it the way it is. Because if our security architecture is solid, you can't beat the radar. Why they are coming to be intercepted, and by the time you remove them from circulation, then what happens? They will begin to pursue normalcy. My first take is this: the ransom payment. What has the CPN been able to come in point with the National Security Advisor and say, okay, now what do we do? Every ransom to be imprinted, we have imprinted and a tracker on it. So when they get this money, you follow up to next level. But today, no, nothing. People just sometimes the security will tell you, just go pay the money now, and you say just pay them, but they not kill your person. People don't even bother calling security to say they kidnapped them. So they just look for a way to pay ransom and they go. So it's not become a lucrative business in Nigeria. Soil. 10 years ago, I warned about this. I said, we must begin to track ransom payment. That way we could get these people accountable. But even when you arrest some of them, the high and mighty also in political structure will call you and say, is my tribesman. Allow him to go. We have some in detention that they don't try. We have also some that say they are repentant Boko Haram. How can somebody that has been a terrorist, you say he has repented? Someone that's threatened the very fabric of our existence as a nation. Yeah, you not say he has repented. How did the person repent?
Okay, now, still looking at this, because you just brought this up out. And I want us to really concentrate on that. And the issue of politics being played in the issue of insecurity. Well, I'm happy. The Council of State meeting will have different perspectives of different political divide. Because we're having the governors there. And former presidents who also vowed in different political parties will be a part of this Council of State. So it's more like dealing with the political angle of the insecurity. Hence, we know President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is conveying this very meeting of the Council of State come next tomorrow. But yeah, should we look deeply at the political side of this insecurity? Because if you still remember also, General Christopher Musa came out in August to say, well, yeah, the optic of violence will continue. It looks as if he predicted what is happening now. He said there will be an optic of violence in the country as we get close to the 2027 general elections. And the reason he's giving this is that he feels politicians are having a free day in wanting to make the country look ungovernable, to have reasons or things to campaign about. And we do know security is top of the list of what people would love to campaign about. So my question, if we seem to have a political coloration in all of this insecurity, what should be done about it? Because the reason I'm asking this, ADC came out yesterday, the African Democratic Congress came out yesterday to say, well, the issue we're having in Kebbi is not just only that of banditry, kidnapping, we're also having political thuggery. Persons that were giving arms to deal with political opponents are now using it to foment trouble in a larger scale. So my question, you just brought it out now. What should be done to help deal with the issue of politics in this growing insecurity?
According to Evidice, he said the rule of law take preference over our emotions. You know, the CDS coming to give us all these excuses, I think I do not buy to his idea.
You feel the excuses?
Yes, because one, thank God you've been hinted. It is your job as a security expert to go all out and recover whatever your operation is. You said, okay, politicians are fomenting trouble, they're trying to make the country ungovernable. Who are those politicians? What does the law say about somebody?
Names should be called.
What does the law say about something that he come and tell us that they are high politicians, they are sponsoring the bandits financially? Don't we have a bank? Don't they go through bank? So we are very good at talking, but we are not proactive as the people. Now, I remember then in school, when we're in this like cadet in school, when it's time for matric, before the matric, we already know that, okay, most times there usually be court rival problem in the matric. What do? We put only one exit and one exit point into the campus. As everybody's coming, we search everybody. That helps us to also reduce those inter-court rivalries at that time. We do not wait for it to happen. Before it happens, we say, okay, now what do we do? If we allow everybody to just move in and move out, we'll be able to control the crowd. What do we do? One exit point and one entry point. So when you're entering from this point, you can't come back from this point. You have to go back to the other point. That way we can be able to train everybody that's coming and search everybody that's entering the campus. You're coming to the vehicle, please come down and open your boot for us. And we'll search the vehicle and you're going. So we must, our security experts, they must be proactive. You see, my friend came the other day, he was the US Army. He had the software in his phone that will tell you how many people are holding arms around where he is. So while we sat down drinking somewhere, and I said that, he said he's seeing about 30 ammunitions, firearms close to where, and I said that there's a station behind it. And I said, oh really? He said, okay, no wonder. I said, how do you know that? He now showed me an app, a software in his phone that you can detect arms within where you are. Location. So these are modern ways of combating crimes and criminality. So we should invest heavily more on this, rather than coming to say we want to hold summit and summit. One thing is this: I can give you an advice as a man, but are you going to work with my advice, or are you going to work with the one you feel?
It's another major
problem. So they can gather today and say, okay, Mr. President, you see, I think going forward this, he will tell you that in his mind, he will say, okay, why to the top, why did you do it like that? You are coming to advise me now. He might not say it out, but he might want to like, I think this person, I don't know, trying to be economical with the truth. But the truth still remains, you in the same country, if you cannot perform, you resign. Yeah. We've seen prime ministers, we've seen presidents of countries where they resign, where we could no longer control, they step aside. We must put people to, you see, don't bring an IG of police because he's your friend. You say, okay, come and be the IG. Put the person that you know is battle ready to do the job. Don't bring a CDS that you know he cannot do the job. Bring a CDS that you know is battle ready to do the job. We all saw this, the late CDS, General Agbaja. We saw I was in the battlefield with his men, charging them up. Even though during Goodluck Jonathan there, we saw how the CDS was moving. We must not come and tell us your prediction. No. What have you done about the prediction you have received? We have military intelligence, we have police intelligence. What are they doing with intelligence? Before some issues happen, the security intelligence, they've gotten it of the matter. So what do? You move immediately. Rather than say, we've said it, but you say, are you telling us to do your job for you? You are the security expert. You are the one trained to carry firearms, to protect our sovereignty as a nation. Yeah. So what are you doing to protect our sovereignty? You know, they said our borders are porous. Well, what have you done because our borders are porous? Why not seal up our borders? To ensure we're able to monitor people coming into our country, just walk into Nigeria, you walk out. We have a border with all of Shad and all of that. You just throw in and throw out this Nigeria, you throw into the side.
But can the borders really be manned?
Yes.
Knowing that we have almost 200 outlets, just alone between Nigeria and the Chad Basin, that can easily be accessed by this person.
They can be manned. What do? Just get a drone. Put it there. As you are coming, you are stopped. The next point is holding you back. Please, can identify yourself. You can't really go back. We can't, with the most amount of money we spend every day, Nigeria should be able to be a solid defensive country on its own. Now, this internal. We do not pray for an external aggression. Because we've had history of generals in Nigeria that don't have history of war. I keep wondering, is the same Nigeria where our military was ranked the best in infantry?
And I had issues with Liberia.
Morovia and Syria and all of that. And when Nigeria troops come in, you know that these are trained field officers. When they come in, every normalcy is restored. I keep wondering what has happened. There is, at the point that they fall off from the original plan of how security to be carried out to favoritism, ethnicity, and along party lines. But if it were to be in those days when we say, okay, when Samado and Chastelo were having, when Nigeria just stepped into the soil of Syria alone, there was no mercy. When we also went to Liberia, there was no mercy. Then they rank us the best ground fighters in the world, Nigerian soldiers. So I keep wondering what's happening now that we say Sambisa Forest, where they train our police before now for Gaza, they've taken over the place. Bandits are now controlling local government. They're now holding peace deal with commuters. And they were carrying sophisticated weapons. Until now, none of them have been brought to book. None of them have been arrested. Terrorists carrying launchers to peace meeting with community leaders. Carrying ammunition. Then you tell us that we have a country. The answer is no.
Well, anyway, as much as he feels indifferent about what seems to be happening, it's every need for us to really look at it. And we're talking about the growing insecurity in the country, judging that its implication will be massive if it's not dealt with. You would agree that the present reform that is being administered by this very administration seems to be gaining results. Yes, for example, the naira to dollar as of today is about 1,455 to $1, and is the highest we've had since January of 2025. And not only that, our present GDP is the highest in 4 years. It's about 4.23%. And not only that, also, if you look at inflation for September, it fell to 20.12%, which many will say all are attributed to the present reforms. But the question is, if this insecurity fails to hold and the government fails to do the needful, will all of these gains not be eroded and we are back to square one as it concerns the impact of insecurity on us? But anyway, we can talk all we can if we do not offer solutions. And that's where I want us to really look at. And looking at that, recently some senior retired military officers added their voice to it. And one of the persons that also came out glaring to talk about what needs to be done is the ex-CDS. I'm talking about General Lockyer Rabo. And when he also launched his new book, and that new book is already creating a whole lot of ripples as it concerns what needs to be done to address the growing insecurity in the country. And he talked about the state of emergency. he feels it's time.
It's
He
time.
feels it's time the country declares a state of emergency with the absolute power coming from the National Assembly in giving its nod. Now, as a civil rights activist, we do know when state of emergency happens, the rights of some individuals are eroded. That's how it is. But in whether civil right or not, do you subscribe to his view that the state of emergency will be needed to deal with the growing insecurity in the North?
I think I strongly agree with him. He's a retired general. Okay. He has gone through the rank and file. He was there. He understood the security architecture of the country. He knows the chronics of what has transpired. I agree with him strongly that there is need for there to be a state of emergency in terms of insecurity. Okay. But the point I also want to understand is what was his role also at the CDS during his time?
Okay.
What was the achievement? What were the breakthroughs he had as a general? They were, because most governors also are hiding under the guise of the president, also not utilizing their own security vote as well. Because the funds coming into states and local government has tripled. Oftentimes we always throw the blame to Mr. President, but the governors and local government chairmen, they are CSOs of their own state and the local government council. So they must also, you see, like Lagos State, for example, they invest heavily in security. So states also must also utilize that same avenue to invest heavily in internal security as well. Because we cannot say the president as well. No. The president is in Abuja. He cannot be everywhere, 36 states at the same time.
Most certainly.
Hence, there are governors, there are senators, there are House of Rep members, there are councillors, there are local government chairmen to also do their own bidding. So if state governors also will rise to the occasion also and protect their state as well, invest heavily in security. When you invest heavily, you bring more vans, involving giving gadgets to security operatives, giving them good trackers, giving them good welfare package as well. It also boosts the morale of officers working within the state to go all out on criminals. Today, I bet you that some officers will tell them, go and chase after criminals, they tell you that they don't want to go. Yeah. Because they know if they die in the course of it, what will be the fate of their families? Nothing. But when the man knows his life is well insured, he knows that even if he died in the battlefield, the family will be worked out for by the country, by the governor, and all of that. Then the person goes all out to this job. But when we give our best to only politics and leave security and other gray areas, then there's a lacuna. And now everybody's feeling the bite. Even when you go to escort, you're not even safe. Because you don't know what will come after you. The other judge was kidnapped in Bayelsa. So each governors also must rise to the occasion to do their own bidding. Spend the money, because security vote, nobody come and audit your security vote. Yeah. Some of them just take the money and keep it there. No. Invest the money in your state. Your own, ensure that your citizens also, they are safe. Local government also, you also have security vote. Invest heavily also there. About that, the era of Maketidi, the former Warri South local government chairman, he also gave Sienna vehicles to divisions around Warri South. I think we also did the other Ramsey, they gave vehicles also. That will also help the police also to patrol. Most stations, they don't even have a patrol van. Some police stations in this state that we are, some police stations don't have a patrol van. So now how do you want this person to have a patrol van to combat criminality and crime? So give them modern gadgets. Government can invest in it, that's okay. But give people gadgets worth 1 billion naira. Yeah. And ensure they are well utilized. And you give them and you see they begin to work. Because at the end of the day, without information, these people cannot function. Most certainly. So how do you do it? You invest heavily in information technology, IT, to combat crime. You can from here detect the crime that wants to happen out there, then you move immediately.
So you feel all is our lack of preparation, our preparations seem to be faulty, and not just that, we seem not to be proactive in dealing with the issue of insecurity.
You've said it all. We are reactive, we are not proactive. When it happens in Nigeria, you see everybody go to that place. You see the CDS, you see the police, everybody go there and go statement. No! Before it happens, what did you do? We see whereby the Benue massacre, people were calling for security, nobody came, and when it happens, everybody rushed. No! We must be proactive, prevent it from happening. Not reactive. When it's at that point, people will not go there and start making press release, sympathizing with people and all of that. No.
And playing politics.
And playing politics.
Now, I want us to still return to the issue of politics, and also a declaration of state of emergency has been thought about by ex-CDS Lucky Erabo. Funny enough, I've seen his book, The Scars, the Nigerian Journey and the Boko Haram Conundrum, and he talked greatly about the issue of politics playing a significant role in dealing with the issue of insecurity in the country. But my question, I want us to still return to the issue of a state of emergency, which you feel will be needed to remove the issues of states and also politics and the issue of National Assembly and all of that into the military taking the full force and the bull by the horn in dealing with insecurity. But my question now is, would it make any sense to declare a state of emergency in the Northeast and North-South, knowing that we're close to an election year, and knowing how politics play a pivotal role in all that we do? Will the North not come out to say, we are now close to an election year, this is when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is declaring a state of emergency in every way to curb our elective rights? So will politics not also come in and play a major role in not making this happen, knowing that we're close to an election year?
Like I said in retrospect, politics, ethnicity, and religion has been the bane of the Nigerian system.
And underdevelopment.
And they will also cry out to say, no. Why only the North? What about the Southeast where they have unrest? Why don't you declare it there? Why don't you declare the Southwest where you also came from?
But the problem still lingers.
It still lingers. So they will also feel, okay, it's because their body language now, they're saying, we're not going to give you our vote. Come 2027, hence the president is taking these decisions. But it is for the overall good for everybody. If genuinely and ideally, they will carry out their duties without interference. Leave him is my tribe person has caused a lot of issues in the country. When people are arrested, committing heinous crimes, and they just call and say, I'm calling from the headquarters, allow that man to go. And the job is order and directive. You do not question your superior.
The last order.
So it's order and directive. So release, okay, sir, you release. And you remember when the United States at that time gave an intelligent notice to President Obasanjo at that time, that there are same people at the Sambisa, at the Borno area of the state, that they think they are terrorists. He said, no, that they are minors. At that time, if we were being a proactive nation, we would have tamed these persons. They say a small snake in a community that is not well tamed will grow to become an anaconda and become a huge threat to the entire community. That's what Boko Haram has become. They are enjoying the business. You see, you don't want me to carry a rifle as a civilian. That's a natural threat already.
Yeah.
You see them moving even with launchers, walking freely in the Nigerian soil. And I keep wondering, our DSS, they are very effective when it comes to the Southeast. We want the same efficacy. So the North and other areas. When of late we saw some breakthrough they did in the Southeast, good. Yeah. We also want to see those same breakthroughs. Now, just after that, people had meeting with leaders in the community, Castina and all of that, carrying arms. We want to also see a breakthrough of the combined operation between the DS and the military to also recover those ammunition.
Do you feel a lack of synergy between our intelligence agencies is also a major factor? Lack of sharing of intelligence. Because why I ask you this? Now, if we take our minds back to 2022, when we had the Kuje prison break. The DSS said they gave a very strong indication that might likely happen to the Nigerian Correctional Facility. But all of them were not taken into consideration. Hence it happened. So is it they were lacking? Because everybody is now seems to be putting every idea on the table on how well to deal with this issue. Do you feel a lack of intelligence sharing has also accumulated to this growing insecurity that seems to be now having a monster look rather than being tamed?
One, it has affected, and two, the willpower also to take the intelligence to work.
Okay.
The willpower. We saw the other day enough mistakenly bomb the community thinking they were insurgents.
Yeah.
that tells you that there was a faulty intelligence gathering. Because when you get your intelligence for airstrike, the ground intelligence must give you feedback that it's clear. It's confirmed already that this person is moving towards the direction. Truly, they are bounded before you strike. But you strike from that point and you take life of civilians. In security, they'll tell you that if your plan will cause the life of one civilian, abort it. If, for example, you want to attack information and it will affect the life of 2 civilians or 1 civilian, abort the operation till when the civilians are out of danger.
So they don't look at collateral damage.
Yes. But in all of this, you see the willpower first to take this intelligence. For example, the Nigerian police might give the military intelligence. They won't work with it because of ethnic and religious sentiment. Maybe the area the intelligence is coming from is maybe maybe my mother's side. No, they will not go there and keep people on my mother's side. I won't do that. They will just KIV keep in view. And before you know it will happen. Maybe if it's coming from your religious sentiment with your religious affiliation. Say, I know these are my people. No, I won't do this. Let it slide. You keep in view. And before you know the problem will come. So in all of this, first we must first of all think country first. I keep saying it, we must think Nigerian first. Because the truth is, if we would have another country, just Nigeria that we have. And if we cannot come together and fix this country, then we won't be having the country living.
Okay, now, I know time is not a friend and we're really almost exhausted all our time, but I feel this discussion will not be complete and will not be fair if we do not also bring insecurity back home and deal with the issue of insecurity in Delta State. Yes. Let's look at that also. Yeah, just like you stated, just 2 days back, almost 15 persons were kidnapped on the Sapele axis, the Sapele Warrior axis, which is also a growing threat to the peace that has existed for a while in Delta State. So let's now come back home and look at the insecurity also in Delta State. For you, what seems to be fueling it? As much as they say you discover to recover, why are we having an uptick of violence also in Delta State?
I think one is the misuse of social media.
Okay.
Has also become a new tool whereby anyone just having data will go there and rant and misinform the public and trigger emotions. And before you know, there'll be counter reactions from different.
I really want to understand how that has really contributed.
Okay. For example, I can make a post now and say, my career, for example, it's not from Delta State. And should be treated like a non-Delta. Yeah. And maybe you have a good profile, and people from your side will come again and counter the attack and write back using abusive words.
But I need to state this. I'm partly Delta. My mom is from Delta.
No, I know. I'm lighter than
don't mind me. I'm trying.
You are Delta. By virtue of birth and all of that.
Don't mind me. I'm trying to make it a bit.
So in all of this, it fuels anger. And when it's fuel anger, I begin to plan a battle against you in my mind. That when I see you any day on the road, we're going to have a competition. And as God maybe someday we'll just meet ourselves, and before you know it, bottle, bam, before you know this one carries small hand. And so
misinformation
yes, it's spreading fast. Then 2, we've been able to enjoy good security synergy for some months now before this one has happened. You see, in Abraka, there were kidnappings in Abraka, Nomasi had been brought there. In the Delta North, Nomasi had been brought in the Ugeli area in the Axis, Undukwa area in the Axis, Ogwachiku, Nomasi had been brought. But you see, it's not enough to just get a win. And I keep telling the security operators, don't get a win and go and rest.
Okay.
When you get a win, go all out again. Because these criminals, when you push them to a point, they will go to their share.
How was the state able to get a win then? Was it that they went after the criminals? Was it that they were proactive? Was it that they were better informed? How did they manage to deal with those growing insecurity there? To see whether we can copy from that very plan and see how we can use that to deal with it now.
Yes. At that time, they did more of intelligence gathering. Okay, where,
because I know you worked closely with the state government that concerns that. That's why we're having you as a
guest. When, and how do these people come out? Where are they coming from? At one point, what are the type of operations? In getting that, a lot of them were ambushed by security forces with the state, and some of them they moved out from the state to other areas. Hence, you see that there's a recent trend between the Edo axis, high kidnappings in Edo. Because when we're giving a push at that boundary between Delta and Edo, a lot of them pushed into the Edo forest because the data became very hot for them at that time. So now we were able to get it right that time. One, intelligence gathering.
Okay.
Two, the Commissioner of Police, CP Abaniwanda Olufemi, had to reorganize his tactical team, change some of the tactical commanders, and deploy some, like Robinson, one of them, because Robinson then was deployed to other areas, Saple, and other areas to bring normalcy in those areas. Then ACP Aliu Shaba then was in the plan, came to, now he has moved to Ugeli now to bring normalcy to those areas. So in all of that, the change of some of the DPs and tactical also brought about that breakthrough. So, but my take, like I always tell, I say, sir, the momentum should be kept. Let's not celebrate too quick.
Yeah.
When we have, we're entering the Ember month. There's this quest for younger people to want to make money.
Yeah.
They want to make wealth through any cruel means possible. So having that mindset first, you now have to prepare for the December. Now we have to have more redeployment of security forces, 24 hours surveillance patrols on our roads. That's the way we can get it right. To maintain that momentum rather than say, okay, let's just leave it like that. No, we'll get a fall. Just like Abraka, they were celebrating Abraka at that time when normalcy was brought in.
But we just heard yesterday and then before yesterday, issues are right there again in Abraka.
Because when you relax too much, these people, crime and criminality, every day people are being recruited into crime and criminality. The human brain, when you sit and idle mind, no job, nothing else, you just sit and think of, next thing you think of is to commit crime. And because most people see that the authorities are not coming for the people, most of them are having a free day in Nigerian soil. But when they come for you, you know that, this person was an armed robber and he's gone, this one was an armed robber, is gone. You don't want to go into crime. What you see people in crime living in affluence.
So do you mean the security agency should take the fight to them rather than them making them come?
Yes, that's the best way to get it. In security, you don't wait for your enemies to come and strike. You go to their comfort zone and strike them there. That's how you dislodge them. You see the US military, they don't wait for you to come. You mean they gather their intelligence, they come for you. Because if they allow you to come, you're going to cause more disaster in their country. That's the same way it should be. When you get your intelligence right, okay, there's a movement from persons from this point, they're always robbing. What do you do? There was one time this Saple Road became
a hotbed.
There were officers that they now, when police is coming, the locals will tell them that police are coming. They man people that are informant. The criminals, they have, even women. Some people you see along the road that look like they are mentally deranged. They are also informants that have phones and call them that police is moving towards that side now. They will go off the road. When the police coming back this way, they'll block the road again and start robbing people. So what do? Police officers now slept inside a tipper. That's how they were able to get those guys. They just lie down in the tipper. So they didn't use a police van. They were coming, they blocked the road, they felt it's just normal tipper, and they came out and opened fire at them. And that's how they were able to get that victory at that time. That the road was not free for people to pass. There was the time when 7 o'clock, you can't pass that Saple. You can't from Saple come to where at that time. That's how they were able to get victory in those roads. They slept inside town because they don't attack a truck driver. They just say something, they have money, let him go. But the attack is mainly traveling vehicles and flashing vehicles. So that's how they were able to get that breakthrough then in that Saple road. Now they recruit again, they are back to their normal kidnapping business. So this whole thing has to do with one, government must be proactive. As security agencies also must be proactive. Put people that can walk the talk.
Yeah.
Don't bring a DPO because he's your friend or he's your tribesman. Bring a DPO because this DPO is commander. There are some police officers that when they hear crime, they are angry, they want to go out and walk. Why when it's 5 o'clock, they are done for the day, they've closed. Whatever happens from that 5 in the administration till the next day, it doesn't concern them. But some will be in the office till 12 midnight, monitoring the security in the administration to ensure that there's no lapses. And that's kind of people you must have passion for your job. When you know that, okay, if now Ember month is coming, for every intelligence prediction, you know that when it's Ember month, there's high rate of criminality.
Most certainly.
So what do? You now look at those, because what we call black spot.
Yeah, and flashpoint.
If you go to the police command, you see the data set map there. They already know the black spot. They have it there. So those areas, you now do what? You deploy more men. A 24-hour security surveillance will be on those areas. The government also, on our own part, government must invest on CCTV cameras. Let's have cameras in most of our roads. Thank God now a lot of roads are having street light. Then we can put our cameras there to monitor. When these are done, you see that when you know that if you commit crime, you be caught, you retreat. Why is it that people in America, you can leave your phone here, you can leave your phone here and go, because even if somebody steals this phone, with the fingerprint, the database will come out, the person will come out. So at the end of the day, you see there's no need for you to do it. But when you do it, you'll be caught.
Now, a quick one because of time. I want you to advise Deltans. We are now in the Ember month, and most certainly we might likely see an uptick of violence in the state. What advice will you have for ordinary Deltans, or what they need to do to ensure that they remain safe during this Ember period?
Yes, my first point is that we must see ourselves as brothers and sisters.
Okay.
Shekiri, Ijo, Urobo, Ndokwa, and Yoma, we are all one. Okay. We have same blood flowing through our veins. We intermarry. We have businesses in different areas. We must all come together to safeguard our state. What we are enjoying now in this state, a lot of states are looking forward to enjoy it. That peaceful coexistence. You will not know how expensive peace is until you break into a time of crisis. So let's come together. Let's dialogue. Let's see me as a brother, see you as my sister. Then we can live together. Having said that, more so, you must be vigilant in your neighborhood. Don't say it doesn't concern what's happening in that company. No, you see a strange face in your environment, call the nearest police station. You see a strange vehicle entering your farm yard. Look if they kidnap somebody. Like the case of the guy that was killed in Bayelsa. It was the farmer that helped to uncover that agent that killed his colleague. It was the farmer who saw when the vehicle was leaving the farm that snapped the number plate and also snapped the slippers of the deceased that I saw. And when the wife said, "This is my husband's slippers." And they saw the vehicle, they not tracked the vehicle, they saw that the vehicle belongs to the judge. Why he was running to Lagos, he was arrested, his girlfriend also was arrested. That's what we call local intelligence. If that farmer had said, "It doesn't concern me," nothing would have happened. They would have gone freely. But the farmer was able to, when he saw the way they were driving, he said he had 3 gunshots. I saw the way the vehicle drove up. He snapped the plate number. So see something, say something, and do something. Don't say it doesn't concern me, because tomorrow we do not know who is going to get torn with it. So let us come together and secure our environment. Strange people come into environment, and this face, I've not seen this face before. You make a call. Don't say after it doesn't concern me. When they come, they don't know who is who. That's my submission. We must live together, also share intelligence. Yeah. Don't say, I don't want to talk, if I talk them. No. When it will happen, nobody knows whose brother, whose sister it will happen to. Hence, we must come together to dialogue our state, secure our state. Our local government chairman also must write innovation. It's not enough to collect your monthly money. What are you doing with it? Are you investing into security? Are you investing into the welfare of your people? That's the take home.
Well, anyway, on that very advisory note, I would really say, well, anyway, we're not in the Council of State meeting yet, though. And but I really need to thank you so much. And I'm talking about no other person but Comrade Kevin Ojomodo, is a senior special assistant to His Excellency, Governor Sheriff Ubori on human rights issues. And also, you do know he's also a growing voice as a concerned civil society organization right here in the state. I really need to thank you so much for also coming and adding your voice to the issue of insecurity, not just only in the state, but the nation as its whole. And we definitely would say that security concerns every one of us. And knowing that we're in the Ember month, more needs to be done to indeed curb it. But thank you so much for honoring our invitation.
Thank you for having me.
And adding your voice to it.
Well,
anyway, your voice really does count, and hence we'll tell you to go drop your comments on our different social media platforms. Let's have your views. What needs to be done? What should be the direction to take as it concerns growing insecurity in the country, and most especially in the state? I'm talking about the Delta State. What do we need to do as a people to ensure that we're better secured, and not just only better secured, but also be seen to sustain that very security? Like I said, go drop your comment on our different social media platforms. Let's have your views. Remember to share, like, and also be a part of the conversation on Dialogue.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
Good day and welcome to our daily news roundup on Atlantic TV. I am Michael Gabadia. Here are our top stories. Tinubu moves for Ekuremadu's transfer from UK to Nigeria.
Nobody does that. The man took Lara, we will not allow because he was chief of the and then
plans to enforce alcohol sachet ban by December. And on the foreign scene, President Trump declares the economy is strongest it has ever been. And talking sport, Palladino takes charge at Atlanta on a 3-year deal. Now to the news in full. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has dispatched a high-level delegation to London to discuss the possible transfer of former Deputy Senate President Ike Ekwemadu to Nigeria to complete his prison sentence. The Nigerian team was later received at the Nigerian High Commission by Acting High Commissioner Ambassador Mohammed Medugu. Ekwemadu was convicted in 2023 for organ trafficking after attempting to facilitate a kidney transplant in London for his daughter using a 21-year-old Lagos street vendor. He is currently serving a 9-year, 8-month sentence under UK's Modern Slavery Act. His wife, Beatrice, who was sentenced to 4.5 years, was released earlier this year and has since returned to Nigeria. The case has drawn global attention and triggered intense diplomatic dialogue between Abuja and London over prisoner exchange and justice cooperation. While talks are still at the exemplary stage, Nigerian government insists that the request aligns with the International Prison Transfer Convention, a move it says is rooted in justice and compassion. The delegation, led by Foreign Affairs Minister Yusuf Tuga and Attorney General Lateef Fagbemi, met with officials of the UK Ministry of Justice on Monday. The talks focus on a potential bilateral agreement that will allow the embassy in London to serve its remaining term. The Minister of State for Education, Suwaba Ahmed, has called on school principals nationwide to encourage the positive and responsible use of artificial intelligence in classrooms. She made the appeal in Lagos at the 2025 Annual General Meeting of Principals of Federal Unity Colleges. The Lagos meeting brought together principals from 115 Federal Unity Colleges and top education officials. Director of Senior Secondary Education, Binta Abdulkadri, said the forum is designed to enhance principals' capacity and promote full ethical curriculum coverage. She noted that restraining and pair learning would help schools embrace digitalization and strengthen management standard. The 5-day conference continues in Lagos with sections in innovation, leadership, and classroom technology, all aimed at repositioning secondary education for national development. Ahmed explained that AI is now part of the new digital technology subject reintroduced under the reviewed secondary school curriculum. He said government is adopting a gradual approach, training teachers, providing digital tools, and ensuring facilities are available for smooth implementation. There was drama in Abuja as the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, clashed with a military officer during an inspection visit to the Gaduwa district over alleged land grabbing. The exchange quickly turned heated, with Wike shouting at the officer to keep quiet, while the officer refused, insisting he is not to be silenced. Wike, visibly enraged, fired back, calling the officer a very big, before warning him to vacate the disputed land immediately. As of the time of the report, neither the Nigerian military nor the FCT has issued an official statement. Land disputes have been a recurring challenge in the capital, and since assuming office, Wike has led an aggressive campaign against illegal property development. Encroachment and abuse of Abuja Master Plan, the confrontation, has sparked mixed reaction among Nigerians, with many calling for calm and due process in resolving the long-running problem of land grabbing in the FCT.
took Lara, we will not allow because he was chief of the and then you to carry land
Sir, everything was acquired legally.
Will you
And
stop
sir, you
that?
get the
Will you stop that?
Sir, I'm an officer, I have integrity.
Shut up, your mouth, put
Sir,
up,
I
sir.
will not shut up.
Will you get out?
Sir, I won't shut up. Sir, I'm a
I
commissioned
was in
officer.
school, you're not in school.
Sir, you can't shut
Will
me
you
up.
keep quiet?
You
Get
can't
a
shut me
big
up, sir.
fool.
I'm not a
You're a
fool.
big fool.
I'm not a fool,
You think
sir.
I shoot anybody like that?
Sir, I'm not
You're
a fool.
Who are you?
I am not a fool, sir.
As at the time I
Don't call me a
graduated,
fool.
you were in primary school.
I'm acting on orders.
Take for
You
which
can't
order?
call me a fool.
I just, you will see whether you love it here.
Sir, you can't call me a fool.
Go
I'm
and develop here.
an
Go and
officer.
develop
I'm not a fool, sir.
Don't
I'm
come
an
with
officer.
your so corrupt. You will have killed everybody here.
No, we won't kill anybody. We won't kill anybody. We are acting on orders.
Go and develop. Go and develop here. Let me see you.
Regular officer, you won't come and kill me.
We are going to get out.
A viral video shows a visibly angry minister confronting the officer, accusing him of illegal taking possession of land linked to a former chief of naval staff. The officer, dressed in camouflage, insisted that the acquisition was legal and claimed he acted with integrity. Away from that, the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control says it will begin full enforcement of a ban on alcoholic beverages in sachet and bottles smaller than 200 milliliters from December 2025. Adeyeye described the proliferation of small-size alcoholic drink as a growing public health menace linked to addiction, road crashes, domestic violence, and school dropouts. She explained that the new enforcement date follows a Senate resolution urging stricter control over products. The NAFDAC boss recalled that the agency had earlier agreed with industry stakeholders on a phased withdrawal, but insisted this December deadline will be final, with no further extension. She emphasized that the decision is not punitive, but a protective step to safeguard public health and the future of young Nigerians. Manufacturers and distributors have been directed to comply fully before the enforcement date. From December, sachet and small bottle alcohol will be off the shelves, a move NAFDAC says is critical to saving lives and promoting responsible consumption nationwide. NAFDAC Director General Professor Mojoshola Adeyeye made this known during a press briefing in Abuja, warning that the era of cheap, high alcoholic sachet drinks will soon end as part of measures to curb abuse among youths and drivers. The Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria says it's set to integrate Islamic finance service into the nation's financial reporting system, a move expected to align Nigerians' accounting practice with global Islamic finance standard. The FRC boss explained that Nigerians' growing Islamic finance banking is also a major one, as it indeed affects more. Spanning Sukuk bond, non-interest banking, takaful insurance, and ethical investment had made it necessary to adopt consistent and global comparable reporting standard. They said the framework would complement existing IFRS models while providing dedicated guidance for Islamic contracts and instruments. Vice President Kashim Shettima, represented by his advisor on economic affairs, Dr. Tope Fasu, described Islamic finance as a powerful ally in promoting fairness and shared prosperity. Also speaking, the 14th Emir of Kano and former CBN Governor Mohammed Sanusi II welcomed the move, stressing that Islamic finance focuses on real job-creating assets like roads, power, and digital framework, key to unlocking a $1 trillion Nigerian economy. The announcement comes weeks after the National Assembly approved President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's request to issue a $500 million sovereign sukuk, a sign that Islamic finance is becoming a major pillar in Nigeria's economic diversification drive. The Council Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Rabiu Olowo, announced this in Lagos at the 7th African Islamic Finance Conference, saying the adoption of standards from the Accounting and Auditing Organization for Islamic Financial Institutions will strengthen transparency and also boost investors' confidence. We need to go on a break now, but when we come back, news across the world as well as business and sport news. Join us again.
When the lights go out, who do you call? Ticado! Ticado Energy Solutions Limited. Your plug for electrical power, surveillance system, and entertainment. From expert electrical installation to efficient eco-friendly solar inverter systems, no matter the size, Ticado delivers smart energy solutions designed for today and tomorrow. We also help you secure your space with our cutting-edge security and surveillance system. Enjoy crystal clear entertainment with our professional DSTV and cable TV installation. Visit Ticado today at Block F4, Suite 41 and 42, HFP East Line Plaza, Abraham Adesanya, Aja, Lagos. Or call 0906 902 5025 or 0815 176 6817. Explore our services at ticado.com.ng. Ticado Energy Solutions Limited. Power, protection, peace.
Welcome back. Now the rest of the news. Former U.S. President Donald Trump says the American economy is the strongest it has ever been, despite growing criticism over rising costs and the prolonged government shutdown. Trump blamed Democrats and Federal Reserve Chair Jeremy Powell for what he called false economic alarms. The interview aired as the U.S. Senate voted to end the longest government shutdown in the nation's history. Trump also dismissed affordability concerns, describing the housing crisis as a con job by the Democrats. He further claimed the introduction of 50-year mortgage was no big deal, insisting the economy remained resilient despite public frustration. While Trump insists the American economy is thriving, critics say his claims overlook widespread inflation and labor strain, setting the stage for another heated economic debate ahead of the 2026 midterm. During the exclusive interview, Trump defended his handling of healthcare and air traffic control crisis, promising a new plan he dubbed the Trump Care to give citizens more control over their health insurance. He also said air traffic controllers who walked through the shutdown could receive a $10,000 bonus, though he did not specify where the funds will come from. Away from that, now to the sporting scene, there's a new man in charge at Atlanta. The Italian Serie A side has appointed Palladino as their new head coach, signing a contract that runs until June 2027. Palladino joins Atlanta after a spell with Fiorentina, where his attacking style and focus on youth earned widespread praise. Atlanta CEO Luco Pacaris says the club is confident Palladino's vision will continue the progress La D has made in Italy and Europe. His first assignment steadying the team's Serie A campaign and preparing them for their European challenge. The appointment signals a fresh chapter in the Bergamo as Atlanta look to recover the form that made them one of Italian's most exciting teams in recent season. The 41-year-old replaces Ivan Duric, who was dismissed on Monday following the disappointing run of form that culminated in a 3-0 loss at home defeat to newly promoted Sassuolo. Still talking sport, Chelsea's Trevan Chalobah has been drafted into England squad to replace injured Crystal Palace defender Mark Guehi ahead of the team's final World Cup qualifiers. Chalobah, who made his England debut early this year under manager Thomas Tuchel, has enjoyed a strong season for Chelsea, appearing in nearly every match as the Blues sit third in the Premier League and progress in both the Carabao Cup and Champions League. Guehi's injury came during Crystal Palace Conference League clash against AZ Alkmaar, ruling him out for the international duty. Meanwhile, Newcastle manager Eddie Howe confirmed that Anthony Gordon and goalkeeper Nick Pope will also miss the qualifiers through injury, with more charges to Gareth Southgate's squad expected in the coming days. England has already sealed qualification for the next summer World Cup, and Chalobah call-up offers him another chance to impress in the international stage. The 26-year-old is expected to join up the Three Lions for their match against Albania and Serbia, though the Football Association is yet to issue an official confirmation. Now, that sporting news brings the end of the news right here on Atlantic TV. I will also implore you that if you have any newsworthy reports, we'll do well if you send them to our social media platform, and we'll be more than happy to have them. I still remain Michael Gobadia. Bye for now.
my name is Desoka, the comedy catalyst of one of Nigerian comedy.
All right, guys, back again. Yes, boss. My name is Osh Baby.
Yemi Alade.
Yeah, what up, people? It's your boy Victor 80.
Girl Niniola.
My name is my wife, and just celebrity type man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka go, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
I see you know you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV. Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere, I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom.
Atlantic TV, we wanna party.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different. Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Thank you very much for having me. I must say that today has been a very wonderful day. So I want us to just celebrate the leadership of Coral Care Foundation and the executives and everyone that has put in one effort or the other to make this a success. All right, like they've rightly said, this afternoon I'm not going to be talking for too long, but everything I say will boil down to one quote. So I want us to listen and please try to follow. I know you've been here since morning and most of the students are tired. But I was really excited when I came in and then I saw a lot of students and then some of them came out here and were talking about their dreams and what they want to become. That was really, really exciting for me. And this is why. All right, so I'll just give you the quote and then I'll go from there. Is that okay, everybody? All right, so please listen. All right, so this is a quote. It is actually very simple. It says, where the mind goes, the man follows. Where the mind goes, the man follows. Where the mind goes, the man follows. Over 20 years ago, I heard somebody talk about this. I heard somebody make these quotes, and that changed my life forever. And this was how. When I was a kid, there was a particular day we just gathered in the house, and I think some people came over to visit my parents. And while they were there, they began to ask questions. So my two elder brothers, and then myself and a few other people came together, and they were like, okay, what do you want to become? My elder brother said engineer, and they were like, oh, wow, that's great. And they asked someone else, what do you want to become? My younger sister said she wants to become a lawyer. Wonderful. So they asked me, what do you want to become? I thought about it. As at this particular point in time, I think I was probably like age 7 or thereabouts. So I thought about it and I said, I want to become a medical doctor. And my elder brother, as at this point, was in secondary school. And he laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed. And everybody started laughing as well. So me, small boy now, I called the one that said, what thing happened? Why did they laugh? So while they were laughing, he now stopped and said, he said, do you know what it takes to become a medical doctor? He said, I know some people in my school. He was speaking now. Their elder brothers, they're in medical school. While they were in medical school, they read and read and read, and some of them went mad. People began to lose their mind, and he was giving all different instances and everything. He was just talking. So while he was talking and saying all of that, I waited, and he finished talking. When he finished talking, I said, I have a question. Remember, as at this particular point in time, I was about 7 years old. So I said, I have a question. And they said, what's your question? I said, currently in this country, is there anyone that have succeeded to become a medical doctor? And they said, yes. Then I said, if someone at some point was able to become a medical doctor, I will become a medical doctor. That was what I told them. As at this particular point in time, age 7. Now, I did not understand what I was saying, but there was something in me as a worry pikin that we've heard today over and over again, and that is there is a form of resilience in the inside of us. Do you understand what I'm saying? Worry pikin, worry children, a worry child has this resilience, this mindset that no matter what happens, I can do it. So at that age, I did not even understand, but there was something in the inside of me that kept on telling me, you can do it. And because I was thinking like that, today I am a medical doctor. But then, that's not the whole story. Listen. Remember what I said from the beginning. Where the mind goes, the man follows. So because my mind kept on going there, my mind kept on going in that direction. My mind went in that direction so much so that I had this passion and this compassion for sick people. As a matter of fact, again one day, I do something for hours, they beat me, as in they beat me well. Let me tell you the story. I was in the kitchen, and at night, while I was in the kitchen at night, I saw somebody outside the window. A man was running around in our compound, and I could see that he was bleeding. So when I saw that, I think as at this point, I was probably like age 13, or probably less than that. So I saw him, he was bleeding in the middle of the night. So for my mind now, when it already don't go future, turn to medical doctor, I was now thinking that I should be able to help this man. That was how I opened the door. The man ran into our kitchen. A few minutes later, I started hearing noise. People were shouting and quarreling. All the boys for the area, they pursued him. I don't know, say the guy in a thief. He don't go thief. He jumped fence, enter our compound. But I was already thinking like a doctor. So I was thinking, how can I help? I opened door. Thief run, enter our kitchen. My papa and my mama come. They chase the guy outside. So at the end of the day, I don't even know where wrong go, how the thing ended. But the point is this, yes, after that one, they beat me well, as in they flog me, better flog. But the point is this, because my mind already went ahead of myself, thinking about how to succeed in this area, my compassion was already moving in that area as well to see how I can help people medically. So, what am I trying to say? The future of Worry Child, it is not necessarily tomorrow. It is where your mind is today. Where your mind is today. So if in your mind you are able to get there, your body will get there as well.
Welcome back. If you're just joining, it's Trending O'Clock. You know how we do it right here on Trending. We talk about all the trending and juicy gist on the internet and of course give our opinions about them. I am Mercy Irabo, and you know I can never be alone in the studio once it's trending. Who is joining us today? Mr. Michael Gobadia. Mr. Michael?
Well, anyway, it's nice and I'm ready to go. A lot of stories are in there.
I love the energy. All right, so what's our top story for today? It's a dramatic face-off that's got everyone talking. It was a tense moment in Abuja when Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Onyesom Wike, confronted some military officers over a disputed plot of land in the Gadua area. During the exchange, one young army officer stood his ground, saying, and I quote, "Sir, I will not shut up. I am not a fool. You cannot shut me up. I am an officer and I have integrity." Let's see the footage.
Because you're an officer. Nobody does that.
We did not carry anybody.
The man took the Arab, we will not allow because he was chief of naval and then for you to carry land.
Sir, everything was acquired legally.
Will you stop
and
that?
You get
Will you stop that?
Sir, I'm an officer, I have integrity.
Shut up, your mouth, put outside.
I will not shut up.
Will you get out?
Sir, I won't shut up. Sir,
I was in school, you're not in school.
Sir, you can't shut
Will
me
you keep quiet?
You
Get
can't
a
shut me
big
up, sir.
fool.
I'm not
You are a big fool.
I'm not a fool,
You think you
sir.
can shoot anybody like that?
Sir, I'm not
You
a
are the
fool.
fool.
I am not a fool, sir.
As for the time I graduated, you were in primary school.
I'm acting on orders.
Take for which order? You see whether you love me here.
Sir, you can't call me a fool.
Go and develop your
I'm an
mind.
officer. I'm not a fool, sir. I'm an officer.
You will have killed everybody here.
No, we won't kill anybody. We won't kill anybody. We are acting on orders.
Go and develop your right to see you.
Regular officer, you want to come and
We are going to get out.
Well, those words have since gone viral, sparking debates about respect, power, and professionalism. And now here's where the conversation gets interesting. Some Nigerians are saying the officer was right to defend his integrity and maintain military discipline. That no one, not even a minister, should insult a uniformed officer on duty. Yeah, this is where I have to say kudos to that officer for not trying to lose it. Yes, you know, I told you, once I see people doing their jobs well, I'll come here and give them a thumbs up. But once you're not doing your job, and you know, I'll come here to drag you on trending. So that's a good one. He was very professional, even while he was still trying to air his view, air his opinion. He was still very professional, and I give it to him for that, Mr. Michael.
Well, yeah, it was indeed a very funny one yesterday. And when I saw it, I felt it was just a rehearsal for a drama. But it was later when I saw the actors in there, I knew it was real. And well, it's still really getting the social space trending. It's still number one. When I checked the trend list, it's still at the very top.
Yeah.
Knowing about Get Out. You're not a fool. My integrity. I am right. I'm a man of integrity. Who are you? Well, all of those lines.
And Get Out.
Oh, wow. Well, anyway, I trust Nigerians. We might even have a song to follow. Who are you? Get out. Who are you? Get out. But anyway, before that comes, it's really funny to see all of that plays out. And well, But all we really need to say, well, we'll give that very young military officer kudos. He stood his ground and was professional, unlike some that want to use their fists. Maybe because he's a minister, and that's why he didn't go towards that route. But irrespective, professionalism really came to play yesterday when he stood his ground. We are not telling you not to stand your ground, but at least he showed that professional part by not using his fist or not being physical. But on the part of the minister, I would have said there are better ways to have addressed that issue rather than having a confrontational shout out with the military officer. You do know his boss would have been the best way, call them to order, and you can also go ahead and put in a civil case against the military officer, and all of that would have been addressed rather than having a shouting, running battle with the military officer.
Don't you think the FCT minister went a bit too far? Because for me, he went a bit too far.
Do you know the beauty of this? Some are giving him kudos for standing his ground and also confronting a military officer irrespective of who they are. While some are also bashing him for being a bit too, aggressive and went over the top.
Not even a bit.
So there are some for him and some against him, and that's even what's making this really trend. Because when there are some for and against, it makes it more interesting when everybody tends to bring out what they feel, what they saw, and what they need to see. That's just the honest truth.
Well, what I need to see is that the officer was very professional, and that's what I want to see, and that is what I am still seeing, and that is what I want to trend on trending. Well, away from that, our next story is this very deep, emotional story, and something that we've talked about before, but now we have a new update on that. Last month, a disturbing allegation shocked many. A woman accused her husband of raping their 2 daughters during a domestic dispute. The story quickly went viral, causing public outrage and putting the man's reputation on the line. However, after medical examinations were conducted, experts confirmed that the girls had not been defiled, disproving the mother's claim. Following these revelations, authorities have now charged the mother to court for defamation of character. So this is also a reminder that false accusations can destroy lives and families. This case highlights the thin line between seeking justice and weaponizing allegations. Yeah, I know when the story first came out, so many people were just taking sides of all of that, mostly when it comes to a rape case. Yeah, people do not really try to think twice. They just want to say, okay, the man is guilty, even without any form of evidence or whatsoever. But when we saw the second update, when the man said he would not write any form of statement, the man was shocked, saying, how come his wife would say that he threatens to kill her if she ever exposes him? And the man was shocked. And then I said something on this trend in that they really need to investigate this case. You can't just take him in without any form of evidence and all of that. So all thanks to the Nigerian police force, they did all of the investigations, and now the truth is out. But what could make a woman, Mr. Michael, accuse the husband falsely for rape?
Well, anyway, there's this word that says there's always a thin line between love and hate. Just a thin line in between. Yeah. And I feel this is just giving credit to that very statement. Maybe they've had many domestic disputes between both of them, and she felt the best way to get to him is bringing up that very weighty allegation. This would make me say this. I know if it was in some part of this very state that we are in, rather than people wait for the evidence to come, they might have even taken mob action against the man. We've seen many people die on account of being lynched, being set ablaze. Now, my question was, what if they've attacked this man before now, lynched him to death, and the truth came out? What would have been the outcome? This is a clearing call that we should always wait for investigation to take place before we quickly run into whatever justice we want to render someone. It's really funny, and I'm happy as a man that this woman has been arrested and indeed charged to court for damaging the reputation of the husband. Come on. This is a man you laid on the ground with, had 2 beautiful daughters for. This is a man you said, I do to. Even if people quarrel, should he go to this extent of telling the whole world that the man raped 2 of his daughters? Come on, what would have cost all of this animosity that you had to come to this length and this far to damage a man that you love and you laid down for and had 2 kids with him? Is something that we really need to ask.
You just said, and that's why we're saying no to jungle justice.
Yeah.
Just imagine this man had been killed before the truth comes out. This is why we say no to jungle justice. Imagine the neighbors and all of that just set him ablaze, and now the truth is finally out, killing innocent man, all because of hatred or whatsoever. I don't know what the cost is, but you don't accuse people wrongly. And I feel this time around, this is justice delayed. That is really, imagine he was killed. I'm just trying to wrap my head around all of this.
You're saying this, what of his reputation that might have been damaged within this period before the truth came out to be? You know, what, you know, just think of the repercussion. And you know, the painful part of it is now, let's be frank, I see this marriage ending.
Yeah.
Because no family will allow such a man to continue with this kind of a marriage. They might be scared of what the woman might really do tomorrow. So for me, I feel this marriage has ended. It's sad note.
And I think when it comes to serious cases like this, we should try to put our emotions away. Because I remember even when that man gave that update that he knew nothing about this case and all of that, so many persons said he was acting up.
Yes.
Yeah, some people said he was acting up, this is staged, this is this. But the truth is, we need to keep our emotions, mostly when it comes to all of these serious issues, we need to keep our emotions in check. Well, we'll get more updates on that because this is also a developing story. We'll bring more updates as soon as they unfold. Yeah, away from that, this next story has been causing buzz on social media. A dramatic confrontation at a local market that spiraled into violence. According to eyewitnesses, a woman stormed a shop after allegedly spotting her husband's supposed side chick. The confrontation quickly escalated, and in a shocking turn, the wife reportedly attacked the young woman with a broken bottle, leaving her with multiple injuries. Let's see the footage.
I saw how you were all over my husband that day. Let me just get everything well. My husband that day. Let me just get everything well. Fuck my husband and deal with it. No, not to it. It don't involve her. Madam, I go now, not complain. Fuck my husband, then you rest. I go injure you. I go blind. I go blind you. Relax. Give it to me. No. Give way. I'll bust your head. Give way. I'll bust your head. Are you mad? I will give you. You don't imagine. You say my mother don't imagine. I will give you better. You will regret though. You will regret it though. See, I just go. It's okay. You will regret it though. I don't come here. I know. So last.
Well, the victim, as you see, is still undergoing treatment while the suspect has been taken into custody for questioning. And this incident has once again raised concerns about anger management, domestic conflict, and public violence. I don't know, but women, we need to do better. When you feel your husband is cheating, why don't you confront your husband? Why go about confronting the ladies? And that's when you say women supporting women, I just try to ask myself, where is women supporting women? You're supporting a woman, you cannot face the other gender. Your husband left you and went out to cheat, and now you are fighting your fellow woman. And then you come out to say women supporting women. Well, women supporting women in the mud, Mr. Michael.
Well, anyway, you said it raised up a whole lot of issues, and it's still raising the issue of wives and side chick. That will be an unending battle for now into the next generation. I'm not predicting.
But there shouldn't even be any battle in the first place.
Well, the truth is many women cannot stand that ground of cheating. And you know, the funny thing about this is, let's take our minds back to 2 decades, 3 decades ago.
Okay.
4 decades ago, 5 decades ago. Our grandparents used to have more than one wives. All of that era has gone. Yeah. And then the women used to have mates and they lived with their mates in peace. But now this is not a mate, it's a side chick. You know, the question still remains, what is it that you're not giving your husband at home that she's doing outside that is making her him, or rather making her hold on to him? So the problem is, rather than going out to be violent with the side chick, you can as well go around and beat 100 women. A man that will go outside will go outside. It's
and
not
you
how
can give the man the whole word.
Well,
and if he wants to go outside, he will still go outside.
That means you know he has that tendency and you went ahead to marry him. But that's not the truth about all men. Some men, what they seem to lack at home, they will always find outside. When the man doesn't have peace, and I will say this, I don't know who they are, I don't know the full background of the story, but if that kind of woman be violent in a public space, broke bottle to stab another woman, I wonder what she does at home with the husband. If a man does not find peace at home, there's every tendency he will go out to get that peace. So rather than you breaking bottles and fighting, why not work on yourself? See how you can improve yourself. See how you can motivate yourself. See how you can also make that house warming and accommodating for the man. So when he comes home, rather than you greeting him with quarrels, you're greeting him with a whole lovey, how was your walk? Every man needs a place to lay his head, especially when it's that place. That place is in the heart of a woman. So please, rather than fighting all the women, you fight today. What makes you feel you will not follow one tomorrow? Rather than fighting, work on yourself, improve yourself. So at the end, nobody will blame you that it was on account of your ill character that chased him out. But breaking bottles and stabbing people, well, anyway, you have to face it. And the law will definitely be with that.
Mr. Michael, greed will kill pushing men out. You can give a man the whole word and he would still go out.
Some men, don't
You can give a man, I said a man,
no,
the whole word.
Some men.
Then he would still go out.
Not every
men
man.
are just like that. And then they come out to say men are polygamous in nature. That was where you started your statement with saying decades ago they used to have.
Yes.
That is saying that
and the
men
women
are polygamous in nature.
were able to accommodate the presence of other women. But this generation, women cannot accommodate the presence of other women, undermining women, supporting women.
If you want to take a second wife, talk to your wife about it, then go bring a second wife. You can't go snooping around.
Go bring a second wife.
Yes, bring a second wife.
Into the house
talk
with
to
so
your
many
wife
bottles
about
around, knives around.
If you talk to her, if she's okay with it, then go bring a second wife.
With this
if
kind of a woman,
that is what they do back then,
she will
then
definitely go out for the second wife.
Carrying side chicks and all of that. Maybe she has fears for her life. What if you go out, bring the diseases, and then you're spreading it in the house? All of these things are what breeds all of this anger. But I am not in any way supporting violence. Like I said, if you feel your husband is cheating, you should face your husband, not going about
deal
fighting.
with the root issues.
Exactly. Don't go about fighting women. Women are supposed to support women. That's what I keep saying. When I see two women
But maybe
fighting,
the other side chick was supporting the woman in helping her keep her husband. What the man could not get outside, she's giving and making the man stable and still married to her.
Okay, Mr. Michael was saying that what you cannot give your husband, somebody outside might be willing to give
This
your
is
husband.
program. Honey, I hope you are not watching this program.
I don't know. Okay, maybe he has more questions to answer when he gets home. When he gets home, he has more questions to answer. So like I said, violence is never the answer. Violence is never the answer. Let's do well to maintain proper behavior, support women supporting women. Don't fight other women because of a man. If you want to fight your husband. In any ways, I am not in any way supporting domestic violence.
That means you don't want the Ned and Regina issue to end.
Your husband.
Okay.
Well, that's not about cheating.
No, but fight now. You said fight.
That's not about cheating.
The women should fight their husbands.
For you to go outside and disgrace yourself, fight your husband indoors. Don't go out fighting other women. That's how it's supposed to be. And that way we'll have sanity. Yeah, we'll have sanity in all of this, a whole thing. Well, away from that, because I want to talk more, but Mr. Michael is not making this whole thing easy for me. Yes, so let's move away from that very story. Next one is a heartbreaking one that is sending shock waves across the country. Human rights activist Harrison Gwamnishu has raised an alarm, reporting that more than 20 Nigerians have been kidnapped in just the last 48 hours. According to Gwamnishu, the Strut families have been reaching out to him for help, pleading for intervention as the loved ones remain missing. These kidnappings reportedly occurred in different parts of the country, and many victims are still unaccounted for. The activists described the situation as a national emergency, urging security agencies to intensify rescue operations and take swift action before more lives are lost. Sadly, this isn't an isolated case. Over the past months, kidnapping for ransom has continued to rise, yes, especially in that Kogi Expressway, that's Okene region. Yeah, we've been hearing cases of kidnapping and all of that. And I don't know what the security operatives are doing, that we keep on getting more of this. It's not something that we should laugh about. It's something that is very serious, that the government really needs to intervene. That's Kogi axis. That's like the major place that we keep getting all of these cases of kidnapping. Why don't we have a serious security checkpoints and all of that in that place? Just yesterday, I saw a viral video of somebody saying the kidnappers were even putting on military uniforms. They were putting on military camouflages and all of that. So what are the security operatives doing? They should go mount there, put pressures in that place, and then maybe we'll have less of all of this kidnapping issue. And then Harrison, Gwamnishu, you are doing a very great work here. I've been seeing all of that, like you're not even armed, but you go there to rescue victims and all of that. Kudos to you, Harrison Gwamnishu.
Well, anyway, yes, kudos to him. He's doing a very great job. And our prayers are with him to ensure that he's always safe in where he goes to battle these criminals. But yeah, you talked about that Kogi axis, and the very truth about it is we've seen a progression from the northeast, northwest, north central, tripping through that axis of Kogi to the south. Yeah. In recent time, we've also seen activities of Islamic terrorists around there. Now, it is correlated in the sense that where there are Islamic terrorists, there's always a high rate of kidnapping to help them finance their cause. And that's why many persons feel that Kogi axis is now a veritable place. Just on Saturday, 6 women were kidnapped on that very axis. An elderly woman was shot in the head, killed, left there because she could not, she was exhausted, she could not follow them to their enclave deep in the forest, and is a growing daily occurrence that we're always having kidnapped around that axis. Just like what Mercy said, please, the security agencies should not only be on that road, but they should curb the existing forest, because that's where every intelligence is gathering, says this is the pure enclave of these terrorists and bandits. Those forests should be combed, and everything that concerns securing these persons that be adopted should be deployed to ensure that Nigerians are more safe as we go into the next year.
Yeah, we are calling out for stronger security measures, faster police response time, because I think in this country, people believe that 911 does not exist. Yes, we need faster response when it comes to all of this issue, and better use of technology to track kidnappers and also to rescue victims. I hope we start seeing changes to all of this. We start seeing progress and all of that. And we want to hear reductions of all of this. We don't want to keep hearing kidnap cases. This is sad. It's happening. It's not something that should be heard. Not even now that the U.S. are having interest in all of the things going on in the country. This is what needs to be curbed, like, immediately. Well, away from that, while we're having all of the Regina Nwoko drama, actress Judy Austin is making waves online with a strong message to young girls across the country. She said, avoid early marriage. I don't know who she's talking to, but let's see. In a very recent post, the actress opened up about struggles many young women face when they marry too early, before they have time to discover who they truly are. They are married. So she said young girls should actually just take their time, know who they truly are, know what they really want in a marriage before going in. Well, let's see the footage.
The rest of my life with this guy now that is behaving like this, am I gonna be able to love this guy, committed to this guy, grow with this guy, build with this guy? Is this something I can do? You cannot make that decision if you're still a child. You cannot make that decision if you're not mentally ready for that kind of relationship. Date people, learn people, understand that you can't trust anybody except yourself and God. Understand that you need to show up for yourself before you expect any other person to show up for you. Learn people. I said learn people. Grow, work, build. Gain the shock absorber that you need. And then when you're ready, pray and ask God to give you that one person that He created for you. And hope that it happens. So that when you enter, even if it's not working out for you, no regrets, lesson learned. But you see, early marriage, it has damaged a lot of us. So many people are damaged today because of early marriage. So many people, they have baggages because of early marriage. So many people are divorced because of early marriage. So many people are struggling to take care of children that they don't have any business taking care of in the first place because of early marriage. Without the help of the biological dad are many. While some guys too, the women will just give birth and disappear. If there's somebody did 22 years, 23 years, or maybe the left and right, I can actually go and take your bath. But they are fathers. Tell me, how does that work? Seriously, how does it work? Thank you, guys.
Well, she emphasized that marriage should come with maturity, understanding, and purpose, not pressure or competition. And her statement has sparked wide conversations online. Some are praising her. Yes, even in the studio, yeah. Some are praising her that she's giving strong advice to young girls and all of that, while some are saying that she's not supposed to be talking about marriage. But I don't know why. I don't know why so many persons are saying that, but let's see if Mr. Michael has an opinion about that.
Yeah, she has every right to advise people, but sometimes they say the best advice is you living like you preach.
Okay, the best advice is, but she didn't actually marry at early age. She married at maybe older age and all of that.
She also advised build with the man, don't leave the man.
Okay, I don't know what Mr. Michael was talking about.
Don't take other people's man.
I don't know what Mr. Michael was talking about. Well. But for me, this is a good advice coming from Judy Austin. Young girls, you need to do better. You should just grow yourself, face your education, do what you need to do, improve yourself and all of that before going in to settle for a man, not when you get to know what you want in life and then you're moving into marriage. I think this is a good advice coming from her. She knows what she wants. And that was why she waited.
Yeah, she waited, and collected.
And then she said, pray. Yes, she said, pray. You need to be prayerful in order not to miss it, so you get the right person. Well, I think this is where we have to wrap it up on Trending. It's been an amazing time. Even here in the studio, we've been having fun. Yes, we've been having fun. It's such an amazing time. I enjoyed my day, even from the dailies to the dialogue, the news, and now Trending. What a way to wrap things up in the studio. Yes, you know, you can drop all your thoughts concerning all of the stories today on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV. Well, this is where Mercy Iraboni to tell you that we will see you for another great edition of Viewpoint, same time tomorrow. Have a great day.
And me, Michael Gobadia, all I'll say, practice what you preach, and definitely we'll be happy to have you come tomorrow on another awesome edition of Viewpoint. Bye for now.